Lady G, your personal development coach. Conversation and inspiration. This is Real Talk with Lady G.
All right, all right. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am excited as always to be able to come to you and to bring something that I hope is motivational, inspirational, and at the same time will be of a big help to you. I am Gloria Bailey Ray, Lady G, and I am so happy to see all of you. Good evening, Miss Carolyn. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, you guys, I want to talk about the impossible situation. That's right, the impossible situation. And this came to me earlier in the week, and I just thought it was something that I needed to talk with you about. So let me just start with this that I get it. Life can be daunting, no doubt about it. In between life decisions, heartbreaks, tragedies, and even simple bad days, when nothing seems to go right, it's easy to get down on your outlook on life. San Antonio, thank you for being here. Listen, we are all faced with a series of great opportunities that are brilliantly disguised or come to us brilliantly disguised as impossible situations. And I need to just tell you guys this, hear me when I say this. Your past is not you, it's an event whose expiration date, get this, is over. I mean, it's so over that even God don't even remember it. So let it go and get to living. That's why I say we're living in these day and times of where we feel like the situation is impossible. I can't handle it. And I tell you what, some of us must realize is that impossible situations can become possible miracles. Hear me when I say that. And you're probably saying, huh? But just think about it. Have you ever been in a situation where you just saw no way out? You didn't even think anything was going to happen. And guess what happened? The situation was turned around, it got flipped. Hear what I'm saying? I'm telling you what I know. Listen, earlier in the month, I've been trying to work on putting together a book signing, and the cost was just astronomical at a venue. When you just stop worrying about it, because at the time it seemed impossible. I'm like, I don't have that kind of money. I can't spend money like that. And out of the blue, but it really wasn't out of the blue. It was just the fact of letting go and saying, I know the situation's going to correct itself. And guess what? I got an invitation to participate in a vendor's event, and I'm able to do my book signing right there. And guess what, y'all? It didn't cost me $1,300. It only cost me $100. Y'all not hearing me. So when some of you must realize is that impossible situations can become possible miracles. So never let an impossible situation intimidate you. You have to understand, with God, all things. Hear me when I say all things, not some things, but all things are possible. I just really hope that you guys feel the energy that I'm trying to, share with you, because nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. I'm possible. It starts off with I am possible. I'm possible. So see, you are right. It is impossible to win the race if you don't run it. If you're not in it to win it, you're not. What's the point? It was impossible, and it's impossible to have a victory if you don't even dare to step into the battle. If you don't want to get into the ring, how do you know? And that's the thing. But the thing I always talk about, if you don't ever remember anything that I say, Gloria Bailey Ray, Lady G, is that without faith, nothing is possible. Nothing, absolutely possible. With it, When you have faith, nothing is impossible. Hebrews 11:1, that's my scripture. It says that all things are possible when you have faith. And remember this now, faith, when we talk about faith, faith is truly, it is literally the assurance of things that you hope for and the conviction, the belief of things not seen, but you know you're going to get it. You know you're going to have it. And see, when you really and truly stop and look at things, listen, y'all not hearing me. I had the struggles behind trying to get my book published. You guys don't have no idea. I was frustrated pulling out what little bit of hair I had. But listen, let me just tell you, hey, ATL in the house, thank you for being here. Listen, let me just tell you what ended up happening. What I found out was this. Listen, someone had given me some advice that was incorrect. And so what was happening, everything, I thought I had everything right. My business banking account, my personal banking account separate, my EIN number, that's your employer identification number. And come to find out, the IRS only recognized it from a company that I had 13 years ago. Y'all not hearing me. But listen, let me tell you how God turned that situation around. Put me in touch with a woman I've been working with, my business coach. And as a result of that, she kept saying, no, you're going to have an issue with that. No, I'm not. Well, guess what I had? But all the time I've been working with this book, it's been ready. I've had it proofread, all these things that need to be done. Still couldn't get through. Listen, let me just tell you, everybody that I went to, it was a challenge. And this is why I'm saying when you start saying the situation is impossible, you want to give up. Look, you better take a second look. You better sit back and check yourself. Because then what I realized, God just started letting things fall into place. Come on, y'all. Now I need some hallelujahs up in here. Listen, because what ended up happening was I found out that I did need to make a change to the EIN number so that the IRS recognize it, and I'm not going to be any problems with that. But also by me waiting. Hear me when I say waiting. I've been trying to reach out, find people who, could you format my book, format all this? Don't you know God led me straight to a company that is reputable that ended up saying, "Oh no, we can format your book for you for free." Y'all not hearing me. I'm ready to jump out this chair because listen, everybody else was telling me $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. I believe though, and I quit worrying about it. And so guess what? Got the book formatted. Y'all not hearing me. I tell you, have the book. And in fact, I actually pick up every single copy this coming Friday. I got you, Miss Carolyn. And so I'm just telling you, when you just quit worrying about a situation, because ain't nothing impossible. And we all say it. I keep saying we get it wrong. We say, I trust God, but you don't. And when I hear people say, I'm trusting God, but there's always a but. It's not a but for me. I'm just here to tell you that as a result of this, I have a beautiful book. Look, proofread, edited, the whole 9 yards, y'all. Didn't cost me a dime. Y'all not hearing me. And on top of that, published, unpublished. And so that's right, when you are pregnant with possibilities, when you believe, when you know, when you want in your heart, believe it, y'all, nothing is impossible. The situation isn't impossible. Hear me when I tell you that. And along the way, listen, had to go into the bank to make some changes. And what did the banker say? I love to be your business banker. And as a result, I observed that some of your business credit cards, we can just roll all of your credit card debt into one. And I don't know why the person gave you a MasterCard. It's not as widely accepted as a Visa. Y'all not hearing me. But again, not looking at, the thing that It's not happening. I could have walked out and said, wow, I walked out the bank saying, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Everything else, oh, it's going to take you a long time to get it. No, it didn't. Look, 72 hours, y'all. Come on. This is what happens when you stop looking at the impossible situation and you believe that it is all possible. And I know that everything is possible as long as you put your mind to it and you put the work into it. See, that's the other thing. Everybody wants stuff to fall in the lap. But if it was that easy, then guess what? Nobody would feel like that they had to pray, they had to work hard, they had to do anything. You see, I need you to believe and act as if it were impossible for you to fail. I need somebody to say, I understand. Because see, when you act like it's impossible for you to fail, and you got a dream in your heart, in your head, and you know it, let me just tell you, God will bring it to fruition for you. We always say, oh, I didn't get that. Well, God never says no. He may say not now, but that doesn't mean what he had been doing is priming me for something even better to come along. Because I was willing to, okay, I'm gonna plop down $2,000 to get this done. And then it's like, no, before you act, that old saying haste makes waste, you need to just sit back and you need to take a minute. You need to stop and say, let me just think on that for a minute, because I want you guys to remember this, that if Christ said, this is what Jesus Christ says, that if you have faith as small as a mustard seed. Y'all, I ain't got no mustard seed here in front of me, but listen, I don't even know if you can see this little thing here. It's the backing of a small earring, but faith the seed mustard seed faith. Oh, y'all not hearing me. Nothing will be impossible. Now, what kind of God do we serve that asks you to have faith of a mustard seed? And I know some of y'all should be in there looking, saying, let me find out what a mustard seed looks like. Better yet, go buy a pack and look. And you have to ask yourself, what kind of God do we serve that would actually tell me all I needed is faith of a mustard seed? See, but some of you, however, you still want to sit back and wallow in self-pity. Look, I get it. We all run into hard times, setback, disappointments, diversions, etc. But I gotta say this to you. When you are walking through here and you feeling like I'm in an impossible situation, you and you alone are responsible for how long you gonna stay down, how long you gonna let what hurt you haunt you. It's you, because you don't have the faith of a mustard seed to believe that he brought me to it, but he gonna bring me through it. See, if you got discipline, if you got drive, if you got determination, nothing is impossible. Nobody told me that it was gonna be easy peasy. Now I will say, I thought, okay, for a minute, I'm gonna be on easy street. And I've been saying, oh, I'm tired. I need a vacation. But listen, you know what? You got to hang in there. The race isn't given to the swift, but it's to those who endure to the end. And what I mean by that, I'm saying you got to take a break sometimes, catch your breath, but you keep moving. You can't let the word or people tell you that what you're trying to do is impossible. I hear people say all the time, well, you do so much. And so what? So what? Okay, so it looks like I'm doing a lot of things, but if you really trust it and you really believe and you love me, you say, look, I'm in it. I'm here to support. I'm down with it. Because if she has that dream and she has that belief, and that's what we have to do right here. Because they say, when people tell you that it's impossible, I'm here to tell you it's impossible for them, but it's not for you and it's not for the God you serve. Hear me when I tell you guys, look, woof, I mean, I'm just getting revved up. I just want you to understand that nothing is impossible. You've been sick all the time, but I tell you, and you know, to y'all who are on here that love me and know it, y'all know the last 5 years, everything. But you know, even when I had a downtime, I still kept trusting and believing. Okay, the God I serve is a healer. The God I serve is a way maker. Hear me when I tell you. And I believe that nothing, absolutely nothing was impossible. Even when I went into surgery this last time and they were saying, don't be stressed. I said, I'm not stressed. I'm not worried because God's got me. God's going to guide your hand, going to guide your hand. And guess what? All I know, I wake up 7 hours later and everything is fine. I'm in it to win it. And that's because I know that all things are possible. I tell you, for those of you right now that you feel like you've been in this storm, hear me when I tell you, old energy is clearing. Old energy is clearing. New energy is entering. Great things are coming to you. If you believe, everything is possible. But call it in. Quit letting it go out. Call it in. That's the thing. You got to have an attitude of gratitude. You have to know that whatever it takes, it's impossible for you to stop if you trust in God. If you got that mustard seed faith, if you believe it, that's the thing. See, your ability to succeed, to fail, to win, to lose, it's all about your attitude. If you really want to win, if you really want to have it, you got to dream it. And by the way, listen, y'all, just because you're asking God for things, are you wanting something? There are things I've been wanting like for years. The God didn't say no, in my opinion, because every time I was asking for something, what ended up happening was something else cropped up. And I said, oh, that's why I didn't get that. Oh, that's why that didn't happen. But I just want you all to know that having a attitude of gratitude, thanking him, just say, Lord, I thank you. I thank you for being able to get up. See, some of us wake up, listen, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. I wake up. And my husband said, how are you doing this morning? You know, a lot of times, and I have to check myself. I said, oh, my knee hurts, my ankle hurts, my back hurts, but you know what? But I'm still here. And so the minute I open my eyes, I literally say, God, thank you for letting me see another day. Thank you for allowing me to get up, to move around, because there are people who are worse off than me and they still doing it. And so we got to sometimes check ourselves. We got to sometimes see, remember, there's power in your words. If you don't believe me, listen to me. There is power in your word. So when you're always saying, oh, my back hurt. Oh, my knee hurt. Oh, I got a headache. Oh, I'm just so broke. Oh, you got to remember you speaking being broke into the atmosphere. You're speaking being hurt in the atmosphere. Yeah, you're going to have pain. You may not have $10 in your pocket, but you're not broke. See, broke is what you guys are seeing under the freeway, what you're seeing, in these homeless camps. That's broke. Come on, you guys have to hear me when I say this. So when you start speaking, rather than speaking health and life and prosperity, you speaking just the opposite. But you say, I believe. I believe. So I just really want you to understand that there's power in your words. You want to start a business, trust and believe that you're going to start a business, but not just start a business. You're going to start a profitable business. You're going to start a business that's going to help someone. You're going to see, speaking it, believe in it. You have a vision board. What does it look like? What are we talking about? But if you are really and truly about being able to achieve the possible, you have to change the way you're thinking and speaking and quit saying it is impossible, right? So if you so choose, even the unexpected setbacks, those unexpected setbacks, listen to me, can bring new and positive possibilities. Oh man, I tell you, if you so choose, you can actually find value and fulfillment in every situation. See, but what you got to do, Deepak Chopra says this, that you must find a place inside yourself where nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. That's the thing. And see, difficulties don't mean that it's impossible. It just simply means that you got to work harder. I want you to think about, I have a picture of this ant, and the ant is holding up what looks like a log to the ant. But guess what? The thing is that it may have looked like it was impossible, but it was possible because the ant was able to move it. So we have to think about those things. Speak it, believe it, accept it. Even if don't nobody else does, you have to understand that winners, hear me when I say this, winners are not only just ordinary people, but they're ordinary people with extraordinary determination. There's nothing different about them, but they're just more determined than you are. You got to learn to keep pushing. The only way to get past it is to get through it or go through it. And a lot of you aren't willing to go through it. And I always say, when you don't know what somebody else is going through, don't be so quick to condemn them. You really and truly don't know. And see, our eyes can fool us at times in situations that we see. And so you need to learn to attempt the impossible in order for you to achieve the impossible. That makes sense, y'all? So, when you set out and say, I hear you, I see you, Allie. That's right. Grow your business. Grow your business, sister. That's right. It's the time that you put into it. It's the time that you recognize, you know what, I'm stepping out there. And so even though everybody else is telling me it's impossible, but guess what, I'm about to overcome the impossible because I am possible. I'm possible. Hear me when I say that. See, if you expect nothing from somebody, you'll never be disappointed. Hear me when I say that. You should never, ever let fear decide your fate. Never. Your past mistakes are meant to guide you. They are not meant to define you. And so when something comes up or crops up and she can't do this, you can't do this, that's a lie. And you need to say it's a lie in Jesus' name, because who I serve, does not go back on his word. Human beings will, but God does not. It's going to be hard, but hard does not mean that it's impossible. And impossible ain't nothing but an opinion. And many times it's your opinion or who you have allowed to give you or share that opinion with you. Now, let me drop something else on your spirit too while I'm talking. The other thing that there is power in is privacy. Their privacy is power. What do I mean by that? See, people can't ruin what you don't know, what they don't know. But when it's not private and everybody knows, and you have to be selective in people who are willing to help you grow. Those of you that are on here tonight, you guys are invested in my success, but I'm invested in yours. And so for me, that's how we're supposed to work. But one of the things that happened is somebody decided to become a duck. And you know what? If the duck didn't quack, the hunters wouldn't know where to shoot. But nothing runs a duck but its bill. And so sometimes you got to think about what you're sharing, how you're sharing, and who you're sharing it. Now, and don't get me wrong. Let me tell you, there are people, they'll flip on you in a minute, you know. But here's what I do know. There's one person that people can't turn, and that is God. God isn't against you. And so you need to be okay with that. And you also need to understand that your happiness is an inside job. Sometimes when I'm walking around, I'm laughing myself. People are like, what you laughing at? See, if you can't laugh at your own self and your own mistakes and the little things that you do, then don't expect anybody else to. But I tell you, you will never and should never assign your happiness, which is an inside job, to somebody else, to allow somebody to have that much power over your life. because anytime people see you down, then guess what? Seems like they just kind of want to mash it down and massage it a little bit more. That's why I'm talking about the impossible situation. It's not impossible, it is possible. All things are possible. And that's what I want each and every one of you to know. Quit living the life of impossibilities and start living your life of I'm possible. There are possibilities because from every situation, some of you may not believe it, but from every situation, there's something else that comes out of that. And whether it's a situation where you're going to learn from it, whether it's a situation you're going to profit from it, whether it's a situation where you're going to realize, I look. There are some folks that have been with me, but I need to leave back there because they not with me. I don't care whether you're in a relationship, a friendship, or a business. Sometimes some people that may have been there some period of time, jealousy is a tough thing, y'all. There are people who are jealous of you, and you, like I was saying, you walk around, don't even have $5 in your pocketbook, but these people are looking at you, and they think because you're walking with your head up and your chest out and your back straight, and that's because you serve a powerful God. You know who is in your life. You understand who will help you and be there when other people will leave you. Y'all not hearing me tonight, and so that's right. When you're on this journey called life, remember you came into this world by yourself. You will leave this world by yourself. I don't care what you say. You will still leave by yourself. And so that's why understanding and having an understanding of what it means to quit living a life of impossibilities, but start living a life of possibilities. See, we forget. I always love to hear, the stories when people told Sarah it was impossible to get pregnant at 70. Because first of all, we looking at it at 70. Oh, wow, you're talking about somebody that's ancient. But see, Sarah believed. She believed in the possibility. She believed in what God had told her. Y'all need to understand that sometimes we just need to go back and we need to be growing up as a kid, listening to those stories, and even as an adult and reading the word and what it says. One of the things, some of you guys have been in bondage for a long time. You've been in bondage financially. You've been in bondage spiritually. You've been in bondage, in relationships. You've been in bondage. And when I say relationships, I'm thinking about jobs, friendships. We've been in bondage. But when you stop and think, when you have faith, you'll come out of that bondage. You won't worry about, and this is interesting. This is a beauty. Oh, this is the beauty of having faith of a mustard seed. Because I found out a lot of folks that say that they with me, they not. A lot of folks that say, and we have to be careful, we throw that word around a lot. We say, I'm sorry, and we say, I love you. And really and truly, people love what you can do for them. Most times, not all. But the thing is, asking for discernment, you'll soon know who's really and truly there for you and who is not. You will God will separate them from you, and you'll be trying to figure out why this person, stop talking to me. Why? Listen, leave them alone. They're separated for a reason. Quit going back and opening old doors. If the door was shut, leave the door shut. I just told you that you got miracles, blessings, and breakthroughs is coming to you. You just have to believe it. Start calling it in. Start giving thanks for all of those things. Whatever it is that you're concerned about, you're worried about, you're saying it's impossible. Your friends are telling you it's impossible. And by the way, there's some church folks that say they believe, but they're telling you, I don't even know how that's going to happen. You got to ask yourself, well, wait a minute, hold up. how you gonna over here on one hand say all things are possible, but then tell me I don't know how that's gonna happen? I always say if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. That's the thing. And so we got to quit picking at the scabs at things that have caused us pain or disappointment, and we have to start remembering that God allowed that to heal. And so if it was healed, leave it alone, be okay with it. That's all right. You know, you have to understand God will make a way. Whatever your prayers, I tell you tonight, right here, right now, this is Lady G talking. I'm here to ask you just to stand on it and trust me when I tell you that whatever you ask, if you ask it in his name and you really say it with conviction, and leave it alone. See, I have a prayer box. I just put it in prayer box and close the lid on it, because when it's supposed to come to fruition, it will. Trust me, believe me, know that. That's what it is. And I want you to remember this, that every time that you start to use that word impossible, or you hear someone tell you it's impossible, remember what I just said. The word says I am possible. I am possible. So there is no such thing as an impossible situation. Hear me when I say that, you guys. This is Lady G talking. I just want to keep it real for you tonight. I always say 30 minutes, but I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. I want to remind you, if you haven't, I see a lot of you are on my stream. Look, like the stream, follow me on the stream, follow me on your social media platforms. Tell somebody, tell somebody, tell somebody. I'm not perfect, but what I'm giving you is what I've been through. And let me just tell you, at 67 years of age, I've been through a lot. And some of you may have even gone through more. And there's so much that I haven't shared and I don't share, because remember, I said privacy is power. People can ruin, they can't ruin what they don't know about you. But when I tell you I've been through it, but I know that who brought me through it, believe me, I know. I believe in the power of prayer, and I totally believe in the power of the fact that I know I'm possible. All things are possible. Quit giving away your gifts, you guys. Quit sitting on them. Quit letting somebody else tell you, oh, that's going to take too much time. What you got? But time. What do you have? And so I just want you to know I love you guys. From me to each of you, I want you to have an absolutely blessed rest of the week. Have a fantastic weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys back here on next Thursday from 6 to 6:30 p.m. This is Lady G, just talking to you guys today about the impossible situation. Be blessed, everyone. Peace.